don't know that I had anything to do with it other than my crew coming.
Yeah.
But it was actually like we went up $1 and we sold it out and the only difference is Sammie's here.
Zach's not that kind of draw.
I said, what do you want me to tell you, man? I'm a promoter.
Pure money.
Pure money.
Pure money, baby.
Gold, baby. Everything I touch is gold.
That's right.
Yeah. As we've not made a dime on any of our movies.
Yet. Welcome, Earthlings, to the latest episode of the Wreak, Havoc Film Buffs podcast. I'm your host, Dan Sellers, along with my Scandinavian co-host, Mr.
Scandinavian?
Yeah.
I don't have a Scandinavian accent.
My Swedish co-host.
I don't know. I have to work on that. Sammy Castle. I wasn't expecting Scandinavian, I guess. I was expecting something dragon-wise.
We're Scandinavian because we're here to talk about the 2011 thriller, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which Sammie hasn't seen yet.
I've seen part of it.
Seen half of it. So, let's see. What we've been up to recently, we shot or part of a proof of concept short that we intend to make for our feature film, The Boogeyman of Black Mountain.
Boogeyman.
That we've had, I'm your boogeyman. We've had that in development for years, and hopefully we'll be able to do something with it here in the next year or so. But yeah, we had a pretty good time shooting that with Tom Gore actor.
Tom Gore actor.
# superhuman. And our good pal Mike Burke, Uncle Otto himself. And yeah, that was fun. It was nice to be able to get out there with a camera and shoot something. We haven't really done a whole lot of that this year, so as a company, but that was good. Hopefully, we'll have something to see from it here soon, and generate some buzz for the Boogeyman.
Absolutely,
I'm excited for that.
Me too.
We've had that on our on our back burner for so long. I can't wait to actually get
almost as long as the Coon.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole series of scripts and ideas out there that we've been working on, and yeah. So, what else do we have going on recently? We have several of our films appear on the Windsor House Roku app.
Yep.
So if you have a Roku player or a Roku TV, just download the app. It's free. It's Windsor House. Sammie the Comic Book Man is on there, and Trouble Will Cause. 2 of our documentaries are available for free. So go watch them.
Absolutely.
Well, we may
check
have
them out.
a few more films on there after a while, but at least see what we have for now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of independent film on there that you're not going to get to see
A lot of
anywhere
local
else.
stuff too.
Gross von Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of short films. Some features, but it's stuff you're not going to see in the theater.
Yeah. Really, hardly any other venue to watch them. You can rent our films. You can pay to rent our films on Vimeo. We have almost all of them available video on demand. But yeah, Windsor House is free if you got a Roku player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, check it out.
If you hadn't seen Sammie the Comic Book Man, check it out.
Heartwarming tale
of
Sammie Castle.
Yes. For self-promotion.
As he lures children into his van.
we were talking about, we made a joke about something here at the house the other day. Something about, I was telling Carlos at dinner the other night that I used to carry copies of Green Eggs and Ham around with me. Like brand new copies. And if I, if it was like, if I run into a kid that I met or something like that, I'd be like, here's a book for you, that appropriate age. Because it's Sam, I am.
Yeah.
So, Morgan's like, you and your creepy van. And plus, I'm shopping for a van. So I'm like, I don't want a creepy van.
I want a cool guy van.
Yeah, something like that. Something.
But it needs to be able to have a bed in the back.
No.
You need to be able to lay the seats down and put a mattress.
No. We watched Young Sheldon, the early version of Big Bang Theory with just
Okay.
Sheldon growing up,
Yeah.
which is very funny. And his older brother Georgie has just bought it's set in the 80s, so he just bought like a van, a conversion van with a bed in the back, and it's pretty funny. He's got it all plushed out and all that kind of stuff. That's all he's done is worked on that van.
So that's what you're looking for?
Oh yeah. No. Jason, my buddy Jason Turner, that we filmed, owns the cabin we filmed Uncle Otto's promo work at.
Yeah.
Had one for a while. Had wizards painted on the outside of it.
Oh,
and everything.
man.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
It was a sweet '80s ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And traded it for like a Hemi Charger or something. I mean, it was worth a bunch of money.
Yeah. Nice.
It was funny. Tassels and all that kind of stuff hanging from it. So who?
Well, let's get into our movie because it's a long movie, and
Yes, it is.
we'll skip through it. It's like 2.5 hours. All right, we'll start off here.
That's the reason I didn't get all the way through it. I drove back from Wilmington yesterday, and well, my first problem was the first thing I found was on Netflix or Hulu, and I started watching it, and I was like, "Why is this subtitled?"
You found the original
Yes,
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
and
the
I was
Swedish
like,
film.
I thought this was American, and I was confused for a little bit. So it took me a little while to figure out that.
You should have watched it. It's pretty good.
Well, I didn't have time to watch this one. How the hell am I going to have time to watch 2 of them? 5 hours of dragon tattoos.
There's 5 girl with movies.
Well, that's how many books he's written, right?
No, we'll get into that.
Okay.
This is the 4th film.
It's probably the most popular book, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I love this opening credit sequence. It's very almost like a James Bond film. Creepy as hell. So this is meant to kind of look like the motif here is kind of like Lisbeth Salander's Nightmares.
Oh. Hate this version of the song.
Why?
I don't know.
I think it's great.
I don't like it at all.
I love the song.
I love the song too.
Immigrant Song is wonderful. Everyone loves the original.
You would think I would like this version of it, but as I was watching it last night, I went, ew.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know. It's too slick. That makes any sense out of a metal song.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's got a tone like Robert Plant. I don't know who's singing it.
It's Karen O. But it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross with Karen O on vocals.
That's it. It's a Trent Reznor song.
Well, the score is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. You not a fan?
I'm not over the moon about Reznor. Some of his scores are alright.
I'm pretty over the moon with him. We use a lot of Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and Carolina Haynes. But their film work is pretty incredible, if you ask me. This is one of all their scores are pretty good. This is a great one. They did for this film.
Well, now the rest of it I've liked, but I don't like this. I don't like this version of this song.
It's a lot darker version than it was originally intended to be.
Jeff is probably going to go, Sammie, you should like this. Let me turn you on to this. But I don't. I feel like that's. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too gatekeeperish about songs like that.
Well, you could use the original Immigrant Song, but it's not. It's more.
Well, I mean, it doesn't fit this character.
It doesn't fit this film.
Yeah.
The song fits this film, but not that version. Like it fits like Thor Ragnarok beautifully. This needs something dark. This is a dark film.
Yeah. Yeah. There were sections
and-
I was sitting there
and
last night going,
It's hard.
"Ugh,
It's hard to
I
watch.
feel creepy."
Yeah, it's hard to watch parts of this film, and that's the way it's meant to be. You know, I mean,
Which just astounds me that
you
you
can't-
like it so much.
yeah. Well, I mean, I like we've talked about in the past. I don't like rape horror, precisely because the way it's just not. It's not entertaining.
Well,
Yeah,
this wasn't entertaining. I mean, that part of it wasn't entertaining. It was entertaining
No,
in a
but
put you off kind of way.
yeah, and that's what it.
What wrestlers call go home heat. Where you just want it to stop.
You just wanted to stop. Yeah. I don't know. It's
And I guess because I've only seen, a little over half of it, is all of this just. I mean, this is a running theme with him and this other guy that he's, I guess, made these accusations of that the other guy claims is false. But this runs through the whole movie, right?
yeah. So
does it pay off?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much. So okay, we're introduced to Mikael Blomkvist.
A disheveled Daniel Craig.
Yeah, very disheveled Daniel Craig. You know what's funny is he actually gained weight so he could not look like James Bond, but look like a normal guy, and he just still looks like a movie star to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, screw you. You're not normal guy.
Did not recognize Robin Wright.
Yeah, Robin
begin
Wright.
with. I was like, wait a minute, she looks familiar.
Winston-Salem
That's
native.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Winston-Salem's own.
Did she really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. That's where she's from. So it opens. He is a journalist for this magazine called Millennium, and he has just been sued by Sweden's top billionaire because he wrote this major piece on him that exposed a lot of fraud and criminal activity and stuff. And the information he had used as a source, I don't remember the specific. They don't really get into the specifics of it, but the billionaire sued him for libel and won. And so his career, he owes pretty much his whole life savings. So he's broke. His career is kind of in the tank right now. And
Because he couldn't technically prove the stuff that he.
it's like his source. Turns out later the source set him up to be like a fall guy, but yeah, they weren't able to. He wasn't able to prove it. Doesn't mean he's wrong. Just means he wasn't able to back up his accusations, and he ended up, paying for it. So he's at the character's at a very low point, and we're introduced to Lisbeth Salander, who's a
Such a weird character.
very
Off-putting.
well, she's very off-putting. She's on the autism spectrum. She's suffered a lot in her lifetime, her short lifetime, and she's very impersonal, very cold, calculating kind of person.
Do they get into what's happened to her life, or is that in other movies?
Other books
Okay.
and other movies do as well. They go way into her background. The other there's an original trilogy. The second and third mainly focus on her and her father and stuff like that. So she does hacking work and kind of like private investigator work, and has been hired to put together a dossier on Mikael, and her employer in this scene is asking her about her opinion about him.
Mm-hmm. She's very blunt.
Yes.
Which is very autism scale
Yes.
kind of stuff. Which helps her be such a dogged
He's had a
investigator.
long-standing sexual relationship with his co-editor of the magazine. It wrecked his marriage, but not hers. Sometimes he performed cunnilingus. Not often enough, in my opinion.
In my
You're right
opinion.
not to include that.
I know.
This was Rooney Mara's first big role. Well, I guess she was in the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, which
Is what it
pretty
is.
shitty, yeah. But it's her first big role. She
is awesome in this.
she's really great. She was in David Fincher's last film before this was The Social Network. She had a very small role in that, but a good role. That kind of catapulted her to this. I don't know if you remember when this film was being made. This was like the most coveted and sought out role in Hollywood. Like every female actress wanted this role.
But this is a role that you just couldn't put anybody in.
Yeah,
Because
and
it's such a distinctive look and such a distinctive.
yeah. Well, and there were a lot of people who wanted Noomi Rapace to play it again. She played in the original trilogy, the Swedish films, but she didn't want to do it again because it's a very demanding role, very taxing. And she'd already done it. She'd been there and done that, and didn't want to do it again in an English, language. But Natalie Portman wanted it really bad, and but couldn't do it. And Scarlett Johansson wanted it, and Jennifer Lawrence, but David Fincher thought they were just too pretty. Rooney Mara, she's attractive, but she's not a classic beauty. You know what I mean? She's very.
I find nothing about this girl attractive.
Well, no, it's not. She's not meant to be a.
But I mean, even in real life.
She's not meant. This character is not meant to be a bombshell. She's not meant to be a very attractive woman. She's but she's a badass. She's been through a lot. She's like I said, very cold and calculating type person. Very, very capable.
She goes through a lot in this movie.
She does, and she's not someone you want to get on. You don't want to get on her bad side.
Okay, is this which house is that, or who owns that? Whatever she put the little tracking or the sound.
Venice from the guy who sued Mikhail and won.
So she's working on that.
Yeah.
Without anybody knowing.
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. So one of the things about this film that if this was just a script, a lot of this stuff would be cut. But this is an adaptation of a very, very successful book. These books were huge in America. The book came out in 2005. Part of the Millennium series is what they call it, from Stieg Larsson, Swedish author who died in 2004. So all his success was posthumous. I mean, massive #1 best-selling book in America. The Swedish version was called Men Who Hate Women. The American version, they changed it to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Okay.
And it was very successful. They made, there were 3 books he wrote. The Girl Who Played with Fire is the second one, and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest is the third one. And they came out in 2005, 6, and 7. So they made the first set of films was the Swedish version that you started watching in 2009. They released all 3 of them together. And there's actually somewhere, I'm not sure where, maybe it was on Netflix for a while, you could watch an extended version that was broken up into a series, like a TV show.
Yeah.
But they're they're a trilogy of Swedish films. They're very good too. But my point is, this is an adaptation of a very popular book. It's a very big book and a lot going on, and a lot of storylines and plots and threads that are cut out and weaved together. And so this film is, they're trying to make it all work, and there's a lot going on. So it's one of those films you got to you really have to pay attention to this film because there's so much going on between these characters.
Yes,
there's a lot happening. Okay, so to kind of get into the meat of the story, it's a very fast-paced film too, and there's not a whole lot of slow moments because it moves. There's so much ground to cover. Mikael, Daniel Craig's character, has been asked to come up north. You know, he's already in Sweden. It's already freaking 10 degrees, and he's asked to go out to Hedestad, out in the country, to visit with Henrik Wenger, who's another old school Swedish billionaire. He doesn't know why, doesn't have a clue. But he's been asked by Henrik's lawyer to meet with him, and he's driving him to his estate.
A lot of not big time, old school Hollywood actors in this, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Between
Christopher Plummer
and
yeah.
Skarsgård and Robin Wright's been around forever.
Yeah, well, Skarsgård is Swedish, and it's funny. This is like the only film he's ever made where he's actually going to live at home and travel to the set. Christopher Plummer and Daniel Craig reunited here recently for Knives Out. Pretty good film. Another murder mystery film. I call it this is a murder mystery too, but it's a bit more involved and a lot more going on there.
Just a tad.
All right, we'll skip ahead a little bit. So he's brought him there under the guise of him writing his biography, but what he's really asked him to do is to work on like a 40-year-old cold case missing person case of his niece, who went missing from the estate.
So that's one thing that was kind of confusing to me. That's his niece.
Yeah.
His brother's daughter.
Yeah.
And his brother is the asshole one.
Yeah, and so there's this whole Wenger family who live pretty much on this estate, and they're all pretty terrible people. Some of them are Nazis. Some of them are just terrible business people. Very. He has a very low opinion of all of them, but he's also spent the better part of his life worrying and working on this mystery himself. He spent a fortune himself trying to figure out what happened to his niece, and so now he's trying to hire Mikael. And what he's able to offer Mikael in return for working on this is not just money, but he can give him the evidence he needs for Venestrom, the other guy.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I mean, does that all it's really going to do is vindicate him? I don't think he can sue to get his money back or anything like that.
I don't know, but yeah, it may just be the vindication.
So, do they ever explain where their money comes from? Is it just old Swedish money? Or,
yeah, they like steel tycoon. Basically, they laid the railroads in Sweden and connected the country to Stockholm and all that.
And Julian Sands playing, he's got to be, I mean, he's not that much younger than Christopher Plummer, but playing a younger version of him.
Yeah. Christopher Plummer's pretty old. He's like 90. Well, he's like 90 now, so he'd probably be like 80-something here. But, so he's explained to him that since she's been missing every year for his birthday, he's received this flower picture. And so either she's still alive and she's sending it to him, or the killer is still sending it to him, or somebody with a sick, twisted, thing for him is screwing with him, and he's tired of it. And he's willing to spend the rest of his fortune. It's not just a picture;
it's a painting.
Yeah, a painting in a frame every year for
distinctive.
The same style but a different flower, same style every year. So he has boxes upon boxes upon boxes of evidence and material and witness statements, photographs, stuff like that he's asked him to dig into with a fresh pair of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
They really sell this idea that it's extremely cold where they are.
Very cold. But then it starts getting, I mean, the first days up there was like snowy, but after that it's not.
Yeah, he's laying out his family, who everybody is, like almost like a list of suspects.
But you probably never see him. He's a recluse.
He was there that day?
Indeed, he was. His daughter Cecilia lives over there.
It's kind of giving the lay of the land.
Anybody speak to anybody on this island?
Actually, Isabella.
So everyone kind of speaks with a Swedish accent except for Daniel Craig. He just has his British accent.
Cecilia's brother, Birger, lives over there.
Who doesn't he speak to?
You probably, but you wouldn't want him to. He can be just as unpleasant as Harold.
Quickly losing track of who's who
Just
here.
as unpleasant.
Oh, how you wish it were always so.
They're all pretty unpleasant
You will know
people.
us
Yeah.
all only too well.
Everybody in this film is pretty unpleasant. Maybe not Daniel Craig or Robin Wright, but everybody else is pretty, even the girl with the dragon
even
tattoo is
they-
pretty unpleasant.
Even they seem hard.
Yeah. Oh, very. Yeah. The family doesn't want him there. They don't care if this mystery is solved.
Yeah.
They don't.
Somebody in
want
the family doesn't.
very much. Yeah. But you don't know the ending
No,
yet.
I
You don't
don't.
know who the
No.
the killer is.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're right.
Nope. Sure don't.
We'll spoil it for you here soon.
Yay.
Must be kept on the suspect's list.
I don't know what this said.
Um,
No, it's a package.
This is, there's a lot of. It's almost an ensemble piece, but yet it's very much Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara's
yeah.
gig, because it's they set them both separately,
Yes.
and I'm like forever I'm going, why or how are they going to get together? Why are they going to get together? What the hell?
And they don't really even interact until like an hour into the film.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both investigative, so if he's so good and she's so good, why do they need each other? But I guess it's more him needing her. But
Well, he's not a tech savvy computer hacking type guy. He's more of an old school, type investigative journalist.
yeah,
And he can really use her skills and her talent. And so she did the dossier on him, which he got a chance to read and realizes how good she actually is. So he wants her
just doing it from the computer.
as an investigative partner on this. So
Almost old school, new school kind of
yeah,
vibe.
I'm gonna skip ahead here.
Spirit of the cinema.
So one thing,
So that guy.
yeah. So part of her past, she has part of her. I hate this. I don't know of a good way to say this. Part of her diminished mental capacity and her very violent past has her own. In Sweden, they have like a state system where it's almost like a probation officer. Like there's a system of this person is kind of like their caretaker, but they oversee all their funds and stuff like that, and they can give them their money when they need it.
Okay.
But they have to check in with them all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of like and they're like a ward of this person. So her normal steward or whoever you want to call him has been pretty much on his deathbed. So she's gotten a new one who is pretty sick individual who's taken advantage of her and forced her to do things to him that she shouldn't have to do to get her own money. And we skip the first instance here, which is, again, it's not very pleasant to watch.
There's hardly anything
But-
about the first half of those movies that's pleasant. Period.
Yeah.
It's just so.
It's a very bleak, but I imagine that's Sweden. I don't know. Never been to Sweden. I'd like to visit someday.
Oh, too.
We didn't skip too far ahead. As unpleasant as it is, you can't overlook the terrible rape scene, and then her
Revenge.
revenge on him is pretty great. Let's see. I want it, but I don't want to.
Which, according to analysts, has been in financial.
Trying to remember where this is. Oh, there we go.
Oh God. She gets her revenge, boy.
So she's got him strapped down to the floor. She inserts him.
We've skipped her rape.
We'll do that for the sake of our audience, but you can watch it. It's pretty terrible. He ties her to a bed and forces himself.
Look at me.
This is pretty terrible too.
Yeah,
Once you can sit again,
Even
but deserved, you know. He gets what it's coming to
go
him.
to my bank and tell me
Yeah.
that I alone have access to my money.
So not only is she getting her revenge, she's also getting access to her own money.
yeah.
Each
She's
month,
getting what she wants from him, and she's setting up a whole bunch of rules. Like she's going to be watching
and
him
you'll
now,
describe how well I'm doing.
because what he didn't know is that she
Then,
recorded.
we will negotiate with the court
She
to
had
have
a
my
recording
declaration of
device and
confidence.
recorded what happened to her last
If you
time.
fail, this video will spread across the internet like a virus. No. And if anything should happen to me, if I get run
And
over by a
again,
car,
just matter of
if
fact.
you run me
Yes.
over with the car, this will
Just-
upload automatically. Not that you understand.
And she has the technical know-how to make all that happen. You know, she's the she's the real deal.
Take the keys to this apartment, because I'll be checking on you. And if I find a girl in here with you, whether she came of her own free will or not.
She,
No, not the video.
she is basically neutered him. Oh, God.
He's not allowed to.
I'll kill you.
Yeah, he's not even allowed to have consensual sex with a girl,
Doubt what the knife says.
or she'll kill him.
Doubt what's in the reports that have followed me around all my life. What do they say? If you had to sum it up, they say I'm insane. No, it's okay. You can nod because it's true. I am insane. Nod. I know it's going to be hard for you to abide by my rules. The abstinence part most of all.
So now she's going to mark him
Just a tad.
just to prove her point, to make it hard for him to take his shirt off ever again. She's going to tattoo. What is it? I am a rapist pig.
Rapist pig, yeah. Something, yeah.
All
it says
down his
rape,
Torah.
rapist, and it says pig on there. And she went and got a tattoo on the bruise on her foot just so she could see how a tattoo was made.
Well, no, she had tattoos, but I think it was
Oh,
just to
that's right.
commemorate the pain,
Yeah.
the moment. I guess she didn't want to. I think I
She
don't.
almost kind
I
of
don't-
relishes in the pain.
We're not tattoo guys, but
No.
some people they'll do it to commemorate, events. So while she's doing that, getting her revenge, Blomqvist is getting a huge piece of evidence. He's seen the girl that went. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Who went missing.
I can't either.
In a picture from the day she went missing, where apparently it's obvious she's looking at somebody and is freaked the hell out. So now his goal is to find who put her in such a state. So we're going to skip ahead here to where they finally join forces. He's asked the people that hired her to put them in touch.
Hi.
she knows who he is,
I need to talk.
but she doesn't know that he knows who she is.
Wait! Who do you think you are?
I'm the guy you know better than my closest friends do.
Which she seems to do, just from online.
We need to talk.
Does she, is all her stuff online, or does she actually go out?
Oh no,
Cause
yeah. She's
Yeah.
out. She
Because I was like, how would she find out that he was having an affair?
Oh no, she's probably like setting up
online.
cameras in his house and watching him and stuff like that. So he's come to her with breakfast, but he's not
But
taking.
she don't ever eat, so
No, she's not taking, and he's not taking no for an answer. So she's got to kick her girlfriend out.
I don't know about girlfriend.
Okay, her
Bye.
Her one night stand.
the piece of ass she picked up in the club.
Look over these.
I got it.
You know, shitty.
Okay, so
What kind of research?
Lisbeth. Oh, can I call you Lisbeth?
But he's kind of
I want you to help me catch it.
dogged too.
oh yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's investigators.
Well, once he got into it and realizes what he has to work with,
There must be somehow.
he knows he needs more help than what he's able to do.
What
Yeah,
does
yeah.
Leviticus verses have to do with anything?
A lot. This is going to require a lot of research. You're talking about something that happened decades and decades
You
ago.
can keep talking if you want.
Well, don't you need to look over these?
I got it.
He doesn't understand that she has like a photographic memory. So she's not someone
Oh,
who.
well, see, I kind of got that there, and that was my thought, was like, she's got a photographic memory, but I don't.
Well, she's not someone who needs to take notes on anything. She can remember everything. See if I can find the funny the further they get into this mystery, the more they uncover, the more the person they are trying to find realizes they're onto him. So in his little villa here, at the Wenger estate, he has a there's a little cat that has joined them or been visiting him, and he's been feeding and taking care of. I want to get to the scene. Have you seen this much yet?
I got to the cat.
Where they send him a message
Who?
with the cat.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking for that scene.
I got that far.
Speaking of,
The first woman, the whore, the Virgin Mary, Rebecca, Sarah,
Hey, Simba.
all from the Old Testament.
It actually looks more like Luna, our other cat. But yeah, she's basically moved in with him at the cottage, and
yeah, because they're working together. She's doing her own thing. You know, she'll go research things in different libraries, and he'll go interview people, and they'll come back and compare.
I'm no detective, but
I want to find this scene. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One thing I like about this character is he's like you said, he's a good investigator, but he's not James Bond. He's not a badass. He's he sees this terrible thing and it turns his stomach. He's
R.I.
someone shoots at him and he runs.
yes,
He doesn't shoot
Yeah.
back. You know what I mean? He's not James Bond.
cat.
Someone has just demolished this cat and left it.
Mangled.
Yeah, left it on the his doorstep. It's a pretty good message they're sending.
Just a tad.
She's the badass of the two on that motorcycle.
Yeah.
And all black with her piercings and tattoos.
And riding around on a motorcycle in Sweden can't be comfortable.
It's very cold. I remember when this film was being talked about, being made, and I thought David Fincher was a perfect choice as director. They consummate their relationship. Have you gotten this part?
Yes.
You watch more than half of this.
Just very matter of factly, she just kind of walks over and strips and says, "All right, let's do this."
We're gonna do this now.
Yep.
So, up until this point, you may have thought Lisbeth was lesbian. She's not.
She's not. Well, she's bi.
She's just seems like she's just, like you said, very matter of fact.
Yeah.
Whatever she feels like doing at the time is what
Yep.
she's gonna do.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, we'll do this.
I won't disagree.
Do you want me to open the window?
Yeah, it's somewhere after this that they split up again and start doing their investigating, and there's not a lot of dialogue, and I just kind of I fell asleep. Because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd been gone since 7 in the morning.
I like working with you.
I like working with you too.
I bet. We've talked about previously on the podcast, Fight Club and Zodiac are two other David Fincher films we've covered. He's one of my favorite directors, probably my top 5 or top 10 favorites. The film he made right before this was The Social Network, which is one of my favorite films. And one after this was Gone Girl. You ever see that one?
Yes.
That was pretty good. It's
Yeah.
pretty messed up film. His latest film is Mank on Netflix, which, if I'm not mistaken, his father wrote decades ago. Who's dead, but and he's directed it. He also did, which I know you're a fan of. We've talked about Mindhunter.
Yeah.
He's directed a bunch of those episodes. The best episodes are his directed episodes, and House of Cards, which was also pretty good, starring Rooney Mara's sister. The first season did.
Di's watching that, or maybe Morgan. One of the two of them are watching House of Cards.
I never watched the final season, but the first 2 or 3 seasons were pretty great.
I've got a buddy who's been on that show, so no, sorry, he was on Homeland.
We have an actor friend, David Price, I think, who was on the final season.
Oh, okay.
But Robin Wright's in that as well. Very good role for her. Let's see. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Well, spoiler alert. So they finally figured out who the bad guy was, and it's Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, okay.
And you can see he's got him in his kill dungeon.
What did you find? We can talk, or we can just get on with it.
I love this.
Photograph.
He's got him tied up here, hanging, but he gave him a drink. He's got a glass of scotch, almost like a Bond villain. He's like, you want to talk about this first?
Yeah.
He's got him videotaped. You can tell this is like a kill room area because he can wash down all the blood into the drain. It's pretty gross.
Very soft.
Very, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
But he said, I can go ahead and kill you now, or we can talk about how you figured out it was me, and then I'll kill you.
Secure website. That's a lie.
So he's trying to bluff his way out of this, and it's not working.
Much does the girl know? I hope it's as much as you do. I'll make it fun.
So he's just told him he's going to kill Lisbeth as well.
Tremendous morning.
Well, that's a lie. She said our office is looking at more old crap. I got a call from our archives manager. She was very perturbed with this girl, Lisbeth. I like that name. Lisbeth. So when Lisbeth leaves...
He's a great actor, and he plays creepy really well.
And he had
His sons are good
Thank you
actors.
enough for bringing her to me.
yeah, I mean,
Hey,
yeah, all of them, or most of them. I don't think all of them. But anyway, so I guess I kind of see that because he was the most cordial and
Yeah.
wanting to work with everybody, and that kind of tends to
Really, he just wanted to know what he knew.
yeah.
That's all it boils down to. He's cooperative because he's playing the game. He's fishing for information. So now Lisbeth has also put together the same pieces that Mikkel has, and the question now is, will she be able to intervene in time to save him?
That's a good question.
Which is a very good turn on the damsel in distress here.
Yeah,
You know,
it's flip flop.
especially with James Bond as the damsel.
And afterwards, I just get rid of them, far out of sea. Unlike my father, he left them scattered all over the place.
She's talking about how he learned to
That's not
be
very
a
smart if you ask me.
sadistic
He wasn't
rapist and
mountain
killer
garrison.
from his father.
Frankly,
Which
nobody
is kind of one of the reasons why this film or this book was called Men Who Hate Women, I guess.
can't
It's
train into excess like this takes discipline.
Is he?
Size with 1,000 details. Planning.
Was his father one of the Nazis?
Cleanup.
I don't know, probably. I mean, that makes sense. I can't remember who's who in the family structure.
Let me ask you something. Why don't people trust their instincts? They sense something is wrong. Someone is walking too close behind them. You knew something was wrong. But you came back into the house. Did I force you? Did I drag you in? No.
Good point, and a good part of the film we skipped over here where he's in his house and he knows he's the killer,
It's hard to believe
and
that
yet he doesn't
fear
want to be
of
impolite.
offending
And
is
he should
stronger
run
than fear of pain.
for his life, but he's like, no, come over here, let me show you something, and he does
Yeah.
it. And
They always come willingly. And then they sit there. They know it's all over, just like you do. But somehow, they still think they have a chance. Maybe if I say the right thing. Maybe if I'm polite. If I cry, if I beg. And when I see the hope draining from their face like it is from yours right now, I can feel myself getting hard. You know, we're not that different, you and I. Both have urges. A satisfying mind
Both have urges.
requires more towels.
my urges require more towels. Who hasn't said that?
I haven't.
Our listeners don't believe that.
Might amuse you to know that while you were upstairs, having moves with me and Lee, who, by the way, finds me very conventional, I had Irina down there in that cage. Who is Irina, you might ask? Just another girl. Just another immigrant whore. Who misses that?
Your sister wasn't.
What?
Your sister, Harriet, wasn't just another girl.
You found her. What happened to her?
So wait, he didn't know.
Nope. So that's a little twist. Daniel Craig thinks that he killed his sister, but he didn't kill his sister. She's gone. And how he wants to know, wait. Where is she? You found my sister? Because he would love to kill her. But he hasn't.
You useless fucking detective.
He's like, you
So
don't even...
Harriet's alive?
Well,
It's too tight
he
to
didn't kill her.
talk.
Oh.
Good. I'm tired of talking to you.
Ooh. So I love that when he gets ready to kill, he puts on Enya. It's so funny. Not something in the book, but it was something that was improvised on set when they were making this. They thought it would be cool if he puts on some music, like some people like to put on mood music when they have sex or something. He puts on some music to kill to, and Daniel Craig suggested this song, and they thought it was so funny that it worked so well.
Yeah.
I think Enya's Scandinavian. He usually kills women.
I've never touched him, except my father. It was our duty. Harriet's and mine.
I wouldn't want
Oh God, it's so terrible.
to do that part with the bag over my head. That looks so painful. So Lisbeth has found him and
On the television.
hit him in the face with a golf club. And he's got away.
May I kill him?
May I kill him? I love that.
It's just matter of fact.
She knows that if he said no, he would have there would be a real problem between them if she killed him without his blessing. And knowing what he knows about him, he needs to be gotten.
So what has he done? So has he killed other people?
Yes,
Okay.
he's killed a lot of other
So he's
people.
a serial killer.
Yeah,
Just didn't kill his sister.
apparently not.
Harriet.
So that's what they assume from that they have caught her killer, but it turns out when they've confronted him, he is a serial killer, but he didn't kill her. So they still don't know where she is,
Or if she's
if she's dead or alive or what, or who killed her. Because he doesn't know. He seemed pretty shocked. So Lisbeth is on the chase in her motorcycle.
on the bridge where the accident happened.
That's very fitting.
Okay, we'll get. I have more questions, but we'll get
Sure,
to
sure,
it
yeah.
in a little bit. And I might have to go back and finish this.
Yeah, you should. One of the things that I think will probably drive you nuts is that the film doesn't end here. This seems like a good fitting conclusion for this film.
Yeah.
The guys wrecked the car. His car blew up.
Well, no, it's
Now
not
he's-
because
now
you
he's
still want to
burning.
know what the hell happened to her.
Yeah. But this
It
is
seemed like the appropriate ending
yeah
for a movie.
for a film. Yeah, but it's a mystery, not the mystery. In the book, there's much more of a feeling that he slowly burns to death, and she could easily have saved him, but just chooses not to. Fuck it, we're gonna let him burn.
That would have made a lot of sense,
She's
considering what she did to the money guy.
yeah.
She's not real fond of. So here's an accident on the bridge.
Again, yeah.
Several years later, 40, whatever it was.
So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. The character.
Now, how much more is it?
Yeah, I
so
know.
After
This
that,
is
there's
what I'm
another
saying.
30
It's-
minutes.
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes in,
Two.
and there's another 20, 30 minutes. So I don't know if you remember, they spoke with this character earlier in the film who gave some insight about Harriet, who disappeared.
The detective.
No, played by Julia Richardson. They spoke with this woman who's in Stockholm, I believe, or somewhere.
Yeah.
Who's just like who was like her Harriet's cousin.
Yes.
Who said, she had to get away. It was a pretty bad situation for her. So they've tracked her down and confront her.
Confront her about what?
Well,
about what they know?
Yeah, no.
About what she knows?
Well, I think probably about Stellan Skarsgård's character. But
so she
and this
knew?
is well, yes, but this is where the film changes from the book. The ending of the in the book, Harry is still alive and in Australia, living a totally new life, and she's the one sending the pictures to Henrik. That's the biggest change in this movie.
So all this time she's been alive, living somewhere else.
Yeah.
What did she have to get away from though? Was somebody
Stellan
abusing her?
Skarsgård.
Okay.
Her brother and her father was
Why not just turn him in?
just as because they're a rich and powerful family. Does that ever work? So the cousin who's been living in Stockholm, who doesn't have any contact with the family, actually is Harriet. Yeah, she's the real cousin's passed away, and she's living as her. And she talked about how she snuck out of town with her cousin's help.
They have air holes in trunks now, so you can breathe if
So,
you're in the back.
yeah, in case you're kidnapped.
So that doesn't play anymore.
How did you get away?
Someone saved me too.
Okay, so her cousin helped her get out, and then her cousin died, and she took her place.
Yeah, basically, just as living as a different person.
How are you feeling?
Well, like I said, in the book, it's a totally in the original Swedish film is more like the book. Not a huge difference, I guess. But I remember when I saw this in theaters, I was like, "Oh, it's bullshit." They changed it, but it's fine.
What do you have to tell me?
Both of them, she's still alive, so.
Yeah, and Henrik's always hoped that she's still alive, but never knew that whether or not she was out there, and Mikkel's now has them reunited.
Still a very dark reunion.
Yeah.
Not happy at all.
Hello, Henrik.
They made I hate to say reboot, but another Girl with film in 2018, directed by Fede Alvarez, and that was The Girl in the Spider's Web. So the three original books we talked about earlier, written by Stieg Larsson, came out in 2005, 6, and 7. There's since been a new series of books by a different author, just under the Stieg Larsson brand. And the first in that was The Girl with the Spider's Web. So the question you might ask is, why not just make more of these? Because there's 3 original books and they only made the first one. This film cost $90 million to make, and it made like $230 million worldwide. They didn't think that was a good enough profit to make sequels.
Yep. Yep.
You make $150 million profit,
Yeah.
and that's not good enough to make a sequel.
Yep.
So,
Well, because everything's going to go up. Sequels are always more expensive than the original film.
yeah.
So you're going to have to pay, Rooney Mara more money. You're going to have to pay
Yeah.
Daniel Craig more money if he comes back. I don't know.
And I think the original idea was they were going to make all 3 films back to back, depending on how well this one did, and it just didn't perform like they wanted it to.
Yeah.
So instead of making the other 2 with the same actors, they got a whole new director.
it's a very... Their section of this movie is very off-putting.
Oh yeah, it's very and it was. And I told you when we talked about it, this was marketed as the feel bad movie of Christmas, which
It's a very bleak. It's shot very bleak.
I kind of stole that idea for Trouble Will Cause. I call that the feel bad movie.
It should be the feel sad movie.
Feel sad movie, yeah.
This time I do want to.
But they recast all the characters. They got a new director, Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe, and Claire Foy, who plays Queen Elizabeth on The Crown, is
Okay.
Elizabeth Slender. And I tell you what, I did not like it. I had to
really?
struggle to finish it because it just I don't know, it just wasn't entertaining. It didn't hold my interest. Didn't care.
There's some things I want to do.
So I don't, for the foreseeable future, I don't see them making any more of these movies. But having said that, there's 3 good books. There's 3 other books. There's The Girl in the Spiderweb, The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye. That's a huge title. And The Girl Who Lived Twice. So it's starting to sound like Bond books.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. The girl who did.
The Girl Who Loved
something.
Me. Yeah, they're getting kind of
The girl
cliche.
who forced me to have sex with her.
Yeah, they're getting kind
The
of
girl
cliche.
who raped her counselor.
But I would I'd encourage you to go back and rewatch and watch the end. So and it's still going here. She borrows money from him, and
Jesus.
and then uses said money to go get the proof needed to prove this billionaire was fraudulent, like he had asserted at the very beginning. So not only do they solve the mystery of the serial killer, they find the missing person. She also proves the original mystery at the beginning.
So she figures it all out.
Yes. So she's a very smart and capable dogged person. And they leave this film open kind of at the end, almost like they're setting up for a sequel that never happened, between their characters. Because between this story and the girl who played with fire, several years have passed, and they've had a falling out. They don't talk. And when she gets in major trouble, she needs his help. So, anyways, this like I said, the story kind of goes on and on, but
It never stops. Jesus.
but it's a beautifully made film, very well shot. It won an Oscar for Best Editing. She was nominated for Best Actress
As she should have.
and Best Cinematography. Yeah, she's all the acting in this film is pretty great. So, yeah, it's the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Very bleak movie.
Very bleak movie.
Very non-Christmas movie.
I had read the first book.
This probably caused some suicides at some point. For Christmas.
Triggering
For 2011
trigger effect
Christmas.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read this book before this movie came out, so I kind of had that going into it. But then I read the second and third book after this movie came out, and so I had this huge score from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's like a 4-hour record
Oh, wow.
to listen to. Yeah, there's more score than there is running time in the film.
Wow.
And so I would sit and read the book and listen to the score at the same time for the second and third book.
I can't do that. It distracts me too much.
I can't read and listen to songs with lyrics. I can't write and listen to songs with lyrics. But if it's like this or jazz or symphonic, I can listen to it.
I barely can sit down and read anymore, period. I can't get focused.
Yeah.
My ADD kicks in. I used to all the time. I guess if I'm on the beach, I can
Yeah.
get, or at the beach.
It's hard for me to write in an office with people chattering away because
yeah.
I try to type and I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to say, and then someone's talking and it drives me nuts. But anyways, yeah, That's the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Very dark movie. Damn it, man.
Thank you for indulging me. Do you have any
Why the hell did you pick us at Christmas?
anything? Because I don't know. It's a cold type movie.
That's for January.
Very
not
dark
for-
film. Well, I tell you what. Speaking of January, we'll drop this. We'll drop this January 1st. That'll be the 5th anniversary of this podcast.
Hey, 5 years.
We dropped January 1st, 2016.
Jesus,
First episode.
5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
Where the hell's the time going?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, now that we've done this, we have to do American History X at some point.
Okay.
Because if I got to do your
Well,
dark movie,
you
you got to do my dark movie.
That's darker than this. Because that seems pretty realistic. We'll do it.
And pretty on point.
It's a good film. It's just so sad. Yeah. What is this song? It's that song from Legend. Remember that Ridley Scott movie?
With David Bowie.
Is it David Bowie's song? I can't remember.
No, I don't know it's him, but that's he's in Legend. No,
it's Tim Curry who plays
the devil
and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, where can our listeners find you, Sammie?
Where can you find me? January. Hey, let me plug Dave Harlequin and Adam York real quick.
Sure.
You can find me at some point in the spring in their new short called 3/4.
Okay.
Which is a drama with a little maybe supernatural element to it. I've read the script, but I really can't discern which way it's supposed to play. I guess we'll see when it comes out. But it's my first time working with Dave and Adam and those guys. Adam's the star of it. It's Dave's first directing job, which
I just assumed Adam was directing.
no, Dave is directing.
Oh, cool.
I thought Dave directed everything anyway, but he normally writes.
He's
and
usually
Adam
the writer
normally
and
directs.
producer.
Yeah.
Adam directs. So that's interesting.
So yeah, Dave's first directing. Jason Buterin, AD, bunch of the regular crew, but I haven't worked with. So
Did they pay you 75 cents to be in it?
no, what are they supposed to?
3/4.
But it's about Adam's journey. A lot of stuff he's dealt with since being an amputee. And stuff he's dealt with, and I play kind of I start off as a kind waiter who gets really over helpful.
Huh. Okay.
And then doesn't understand why he's mad at me. So it was fun. It was about half a day. Jason Knight filming, and it was cool. That was a hey, you want to do this thing with us? So
Very cool.
And then some point in the next week or so in January, we're going to start Spirit of the Cinema, our next production effort.
Yep.
With written and directed by Zach Fox.
Which will be pretty. How do I describe it? I was about to say a nice film. It's dramatic.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how he shoots it. It can be a feel-good kind of movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just...
it feels like it's more poignant now with all that's going on in the film industry, and the theater industry, I mean.
Yep.
So, yeah.
With Mike Burke and...
Ariana Tysinger and
Tysinger and myself.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a surprise. What else? And about once a month we'll be doing improv shows at the Idiot Box in Greensboro, owned by Jenny Stencil and her husband Steve. So come check that out. We haven't picked a name yet. We've went from Jenny's Idiots to Sammie and the blank. Yeah, we've had a different bunch of blanks. I don't know how I got.
Sammie and the Blanks.
Yeah, Sammie and the Blanks. We've had several different suggestions. Zach, when we did the first 48-hour film festival thing we did, we were called God's Perfect Idiots.
Yeah.
Which might not be bad. I don't know how much we want to put. Maybe just Perfect Idiots. I don't know.
What, a Fight Club reference?
Maybe.
I think it is.
I think, or Deadpool. I think it's Deadpool.
We'll have to find out.
I think Deadpool is God's perfect idiot, or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. That's all I got.
All right, you can find us on Instagram at Wreak Havoc Productions. I'm on Twitter at Hank vs. the Undead. You can always email us at wreakhavocproductions@gmail.com. Check out our other show, Carolina Haints, at carolinahaints.com. And check out everything we're up to at wreakhavocproductions.com.
At Sammie Castle on everything.
On everything.
On everything. I don't alter nothing. No fake names. No, it's just too confusing.
It's an IE and a CASSELL.
Everybody wants to do their cute little Twitter names or cute little Instagram names or I love puppies or I rape cats or whatever. And but no, I don't want to. It's too complicated.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, everyone, and we look forward to having some really cool content out to show you guys this year, and hopefully we'll be, by the end of this coming year, we'll be knee-deep into our next feature film, and
hopefully we'll all be healthy.
We'll all be, COVID-free.
And mask-free.
Mask-free. And we'll be able to
and vaccinated.
Be back in the theater for the film festival, and, hopefully we'll be back to normal. So,
or some semblance of it.
Stick with us. Hey, if you have guests you'd like to recommend for this show, or if you have movies you'd like for us to talk about, email us. Let us know. Give us some feedback. We'll be back soon with a new film. Don't know what it'll be. Don't know when it'll be, but
sometime
in 2021.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.